You guys can make it through the battle pass and get closer to unlocking stuff for like Blackheart, Hybrid, and also get closer to the tier 100 skin. But yeah, guys, if you find this video helpful and you want to help support me, you can do so by using code THELLAMASER in the item shop. Simply go into the item shop, click in the bottom right corner, and input code THELLAMASIR if you want to help support me. Maybe you appreciate the guide, something like that. I seriously appreciate it a ton. And big thanks to all of you who have already been doing so. On top of that, guys, be sure to hit that like button down below if you are hyped for Season 8 and new challenges. I know I am. And also comment, what is your favorite part so far about Season 8? For me, it's really hard to say. There's so many amazing things, but I am curious to see what you guys have to say. Now, without further ado here, let's jump into it. First of all, with a quick overview of the challenges, because I know some of you might not be home to see them. So here's the overview of the challenges, and we're going to be covering all of these today. But yeah, guys, real quick before we get into those 7 weekly challenges, I'm pretty sure there would be a secret star or maybe like a banner for the loading screen. I'm not 100% sure yet, so if there is one, simply check the pinned comment down below after watching this video, and if there is one, I'll post how to find it down there. But as for the challenges themselves this week, you have got search chests in Retail Row or Junk Junction, also visit all pirate camps. I'll show you the 7 locations that you need for those camps. Get an elimination with a shotgun, assault rifle, and explosive weapon. Deal damage with a shotgun and an explosive weapon in a single match plus stages. Got tips and tricks for you guys around that stuff. Visit a giant face in the desert, the jungle, and the snow. I'll show you the location of those. Use a volcano vent in different matches and deal damage to a vehicle driven by an opponent. So overall, guys, some very interesting challenges, but you know I'll show you some of the best ways to get them done. So let's go ahead and jump into it with the first challenge I want to go over, and that is the get an elimination with a shotgun, assault rifle, and explosive weapon. This one's pretty straightforward, so it's the one I wanted to start out with just to get one of the easy ones out of the way, because honestly it is probably one of the easier ones. So real quick though, what is the best way to go about doing this? Well, personally I would recommend Team Rumble, or just doing a big team mode in general. Team Rumble is live right now. It's next to squads, but I do recommend Team Rumble simply because, well, obviously you can respawn in that mode. So at first, start off the game, find a shotgun, assault rifle, and explosive weapon, and then later on go for an elimination with each of those. And with respawns, you don't have to worry about getting eliminated, and that can just help you get this challenge done very, very easily. So yeah, guys, but moving on to the next challenge I want to talk about. This is the use a volcano vent in different matches. Now this one at first may seem a little bit tough, but it's actually fairly easy once you know what you're looking for. Again, you do need to do it in different matches, so that's going to be the part that takes a little bit of time. So personally, what I recommend to do is work on this challenge when you're working on some of the other ones. If you know you happen to be visiting some of the pirate camps, maybe you can try and, you know, use one of these volcano vents in the same game. So yeah, though, what is a volcano vent? Like, what exactly are you looking for? Well, basically they are these things right here. Now I'm pretty sure most of these are located fairly close to the volcano itself. Obviously they're called volcano vents, but they're these things right here. So as you can see, you simply walk into it, it fires you up into the air, and that's how you use a volcano vent. It's pretty cool, but that is how you complete the challenge. So again, you're just going to need to use some of those in different matches, and that is how you get it done. But then let's move ahead and go on to the next challenge I want to cover in this video, and that is the search chests in either Retail Row or Junk Junction. You need to search 7 chests in total, pretty similar to the ones we had from last season, where we had to search chests in one location or the other. But do keep in mind, one of the things I want you guys to note is that this is different from the overtime version of it. Apparently, from what I can tell, ammo boxes don't count. I haven't quite tested it out for sure yet, simply because it doesn't say ammo boxes in the challenge, so you know, it's something to keep in mind. I guess you can always just try it out, but I doubt ammo boxes would count, whereas, you know, chests, that's what's in the challenge. But yeah, Retail Row or Junk Junction, which is better? Is one better than the other? What's the best game mode to go about doing this in? Well, let's jump into answering some of those questions. Now, first of all, for the game mode, honestly, probably something like Team Rumble is going to be best, or whatever big team limited time mode is live at the time that you're watching this video. But I recommend those modes because Junk Junction and Retail Row are fairly at, you know, different locations on the map. So if your side of the map, your side that the battle bus is going over, happens to be on one of those locations, you're probably just going to want to go to whichever is on your side, because it's generally less likely that opponents are going to go across to your team side of the map to loot chests. So that way you could avoid, you know, running into other people that, you know, could eliminate you. You'll still maybe run into teammates, but it'll be a little bit easier to, you know, go around and find chests. Now, as for the different locations, again, you have Junk Junction and Retail Row. Now, personally, I would recommend Retail Row. I feel like it maybe has a few more chests. So I'm not 100% sure about that, but it does seem to be a bit bigger than Junk Junction. So, you know, that might be something to keep in mind. But you guys know that there's chests inside of the houses, also the stores over on the east side of Retail Row. But, you know, there's definitely a lot of chests in this location. And then for Junk Junction, they're fairly evenly spread out around the location. You know, there's some around like all the compacted cars and metal and stuff like that. There's some inside that main building, so you can look around and find some over there. But yeah, you should be able to get this one done fairly easily. But keeping it
فيش حدا بده ساعات زيادة؟ نحن بنبيع من 6 ل 7 ل 8.
Going here, let's move on to one of the pretty tough challenges this week, but don't worry guys, I will show you how to do it. The visit all 7 pirate camps challenge. That is right guys, you have to visit all 7 of these, and they remind me of like the expedition outposts a little bit in terms of them being like 7 of them, and also how they're, you know, located around the map. But don't worry guys, I'm going to show you where to find these. But first of all, what game mode is generally best for doing this? Honestly, it doesn't really matter. You can do Team Rumble. If you're playing squads with your friends, you guys can land at these different ones, or, you know, move around the map and go to the different ones. It really just depends, but there's multiple different ways, so it's not a huge deal when it comes to the game mode. However, the more important thing is obviously just knowing where these locations are and knowing where to find them. So let's go ahead and jump into that. So basically what you're looking for here are these sort of, you know, wooden structures that are built around the map, and they have a pirate flag flying above or whatever on top of them. So like as you can see here, for example, here is one to the southwest of the volcano, like pretty close to the volcano actually. But if you land there, you will notice that it'll pop up the little thing, and that will tell you that you're working towards this challenge. So yeah, that is what you're looking for. So like for example, this next one is to the west of the pirate ship, sort of close to the first one I showed you, but it is up on this hill right here, so that's an easy one to get as well. On top of that guys, there is one to the west of Fatal Fields, and also like to the south of Salty Springs, so sort of in between that. But as you can see, it is on top of this hill right here. It's actually built on top of that house that was here, so you can go ahead and grab that one too. Also southwest of Tilted, sort of in between where Greasy Grove used to be, there is another one that you can find right there. There's one between Loot Lake and Dusty Divot, sort of next to that one big hill that's sort of close to the center of the map, as you can see. Also, you've got one west of Pleasant Park at that sort of house that's, you know, a little bit creepy. It's sort of hidden like in the forest, so there is one over there that you can get as well. And then for the final one, it is near Paradise Palms at this bridge right here. So yeah guys, those are the locations, so there you go. After that then though guys, the next challenge is fairly tough. There are a couple of tips I can give you guys, but you may just have to get a little bit lucky with this one. But basically it is the one that is deal damage to a vehicle driven by an opponent. So yeah, this one, you know, you're gonna have to get a little bit lucky and manage to find an opponent that's riding in a vehicle, so then obviously you can deal damage to said vehicle. And something to take note of there is that it does specifically say to deal damage to a vehicle, not necessarily the person driving it, but instead the vehicles. Now basically really the only tip I can give you guys for this one is to go into something like Team Rumble, or maybe there's also right now Soaring 50v50 is live, because in those big team modes I feel like you may have a better chance of finding somebody riding around in a vehicle. Again, it is hard to say, but if you happen to find somebody riding on a quad crasher, you know, aim for the quad crasher and try and get some of that damage done. It is probably going to take a little bit of time to just, you know, find somebody in a vehicle, but I mean with enough time you should be able to get this one done. And then after that guys, let's talk about another challenge that like appears tough on the surface, but honestly it's pretty easy once you know like where to go. Now you probably know which challenge I am talking about here, but it is the visit a giant face in the desert, the jungle, and also the snow. That is right guys, sounds pretty interesting, but don't worry, I have got all 3 of those locations to show you right here, so that you guys know exactly where to go and exactly how to get this challenge done pretty easily overall. Now real quick before we get into it guys, if you haven't yet, be sure to hit that subscribe button down below, because I post these guides every single week, helping you with tips and tricks to get the challenges done as fast as possible. So if you don't want to miss those guides, the best way to know about them is to be subscribed and have notifications turned on. But yeah guys, getting back into it with this challenge, yeah, again, visit a giant face in the desert, the jungle, and the snow. So you know that's sort of 3 different biomes or whatever you want to call them. But you may be wondering, what exactly is like a giant face? Well, the best way to to explain it is to just show you one of them. For example, here the first one is this one at the desert, and I don't believe you have to do these in order, but yeah, like as you can see here, if you look at the side of this hill or mountain, whatever you want to call it, you can see that there's actually a face on it. So this is sort of the type of thing that you're looking for in the different biomes as well. Once you land on top of this one, again, it's near those like pueblos, whatever you want to call it, towards the more southeast portion of the map. But if you land on top of there, it'll complete part of the challenge, and that is, you know, 1/3 of it done. Now after that, then let's move on to the one that is inside of the jungle biome. Let's go through these in order, but again, you're looking for something like a hill with a face on the side of it. So as you can see, this one right here definitely fits that. So this is where you want to go, where you want to land or make your way over to in one of your games. But this one is to the sort of east of the volcano, or I guess a better way to locate it is that it's to the east of Sunny Steps, one of the new locations. But as you can see, it's very clearly a face. So you want to go right around here, and that should be another part of the challenge done. But then for the third and final one you want to find, that one is the one over at the snow biome. And as you can see, you want to go to the south portion of the map, sort of to the east of Happy Hamlet as well. It is this hill right here, and I know it's a little hard to see at first, but as you can see, you go on top of this hill, and this is where the face is located. Now if you go down this side right here, you can see that there's some rocks, and this is what forms the face of it. I know it's a little bit hard to tell close up, but that is the final one that you need and will help you complete this challenge. But then for the final challenge I want to talk about in this video, this one is pretty simple and straightforward. However, I will say that it is a stage challenge, and the first of which is to deal damage with a shotgun and an explosive weapon in a single match. Now unfortunately, I don't know what the other two stages are quite yet. I wanted to get this guide out to you guys as quickly as possible, so I haven't quite had time to get to the other ones, but generally with the stage challenges, you know, the rest of the stages are fairly similar to the first stage, at least most of the time. So yeah guys, like my basic tips that I can give you for a challenge like this is to do something like Team Rumble, because obviously, you know, you don't have to worry about getting eliminated once you find one of these weapons that you need to use, so that's always a great help. On top of that, since it's in a single match, it definitely helps out even more. So yeah, be sure to do that in like Team Rumble as long as it's still live. Again, it is live right now, but that should help you out quite a bit. But anyways guys, that is going to be it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, be sure to hit that subscribe button down below for more challenge guides coming up in the near future. On top of that, you can check out some of my previous videos